Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I am the Analyst part of the show. My name is Michelle. This is Nycole. She is the Armchair part of the show. And the Armchair has caught up to the Analyst in game picks.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we are now tied perfectly. I think it's 103 wins to 61 losses on the year for both of us.
Yeah.
You just keep coming back.
Listen, and next week I'll be taking the lead. So, and just leave you in the dust.
We both did well this last week with our game picks. I was 10-5, not where I want to be, but you were 12-3.
12-3, baby.
Killing it.
Oh yeah.
I lost a lot of close games.
Doesn't matter.
All right. It doesn't. I still lost, but you know, we're doing better. We're starting to figure out which teams. I mean, it's taking forever, I feel like, this season to figure out which teams are good and bad, and still the Chiefs are confusing us. Really, the Chiefs are the most confusing because I can't believe that they lost to the Broncos.
Well, then you have the Ravens who started off really poorly. That was confusing at the beginning.
Yeah, they should have lost to the Browns.
You know, you've got a lot of the Lions just looked silly last week. So, you know, there's a lot of teams that are just kind of all over the place.
Now, some teams are going to have different quarterbacks moving forward. Right. We got quite a bit of news with quarterbacks this week, including Joe Burrow is back at practice in full, I guess, technically today. So he could play as soon as this week, which would be crazy.
Right.
But we will get into all the latest NFL news in the opening drive.
The opening drive.
Joe Burrow back at practice for the Bengals. Now, like on a Wednesday, it was practice in full immediately.
Wild.
Which, like, Brock Purdy was practicing limited for like 2 months. So
listen, you know how I feel about that organization and how they handle injuries. So
yeah, I mean, it seems like he could possibly be back this week. Joe Flacco's dealing with a bit banged up, but he's also 40 years old, so he's always a bit banged up.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Now, the Bengals are 3-7.
Yeah.
So this week they get the Patriots, and I don't know that Burrow can come back and just fix everything, because also breaking news, Jamar Chase is suspended a game because he decided to spit on another human being. He is trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Appeal it. It's not going to get appealed. You spit on another human. You're
that video was clear cut and to the point. Yeah.
And like they gave you one game. Just take it. Like that's what happened. So
yeah, that was so dumb.
He's going to be out. Patriots have really good defense, a really good offense. We will talk about that game, but I don't like. Let's say Burrow sits out this game, and then they're 3-8. Do you bring back Burrow? Because the best you can get to is 9-8. If you went out and they have games against the Ravens, games against Bills, Ravens again. Their next 4 weeks is Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens.
Ugh. It doesn't seem smart. Like if they were like at 5 wins, maybe. But at 3 wins, and you're probably definitely going to lose this week, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense.
I feel like that's why they're trying to push him back so fast, because this is such a necessary win.
Right. Well, and especially, I mean, the defense is, I mean, we'll get to it, but I don't know if it is worth it to rush it.
Yeah. Now, Aaron Rodgers won't need surgery for his fracture he has on his non-throwing wrist, on his left wrist. I don't know if he's going to play worse because of this, or be more scared to get hit, or anytime he falls it's going to be a big deal. But Mason Rudolph came in last game for the Patriots and looked good. I mean, he looked better than Aaron Rodgers in that particular game, and the offense was moving better. Rudolph in his last 3 starts with the Steelers was actually amazing. It was back in 2023 though, at the last few games of the season. He looked great. Mason Rudolph is one of those backup guys that can look good for a couple games, not so much for a full season. So for the long haul this season, I'm happy Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to have surgery to miss the year, but I don't want him to come back and play just to play and then stink up against the Bears, because this is a must-win game for the Steelers.
It's a pretty big win, or game rather. So I don't know. I mean, do you play him kind of I know they don't really do that in NFL as
No.
much as they do in college sometimes. But I mean, maybe you have Mason Rudolph start the game.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers seems totally a chill dude and would be totally fine
Well,
with that.
You know how I feel about him. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's not going to happen. Because if Aaron Rodgers is healthy enough, he's healthy enough. Like, if you're healthy enough to go on the field, you're healthy enough.
yeah, but then the whole game, he's going to look like Patrick Mahomes, like the whole game. Like, why didn't you throw that? Why didn't you throw that? You
Yeah.
know, to the refs. And nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Granted, he kind of does it now. So, nothing's changed. My thing is, if he does fall, he doesn't, especially with the ball, right? It's a liability because you're trying to protect the ball with your good hand, quote unquote, and then you fall down. Well, normal, what your instinct to do is put your hand down. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Whatever,
don't-
put him out there. Let him break
I don't.
it.
Yeah, I
care.
don't think he should play this week, but we shall see. Justin Fields is officially benched for Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is how you are supposed to say it, I guess. But Justin Fields, I try to have your back for so long, bud. But when you can't throw over 60 yards
I know.
in so many games, I mean, I think 3 out of his last 5 games, he couldn't even hit 60 passing yards. I can't keep defending that. And I know you don't have any weapons out there, especially with Garrett Wilson out. And I know the Jets are dumpster fire and it doesn't matter who's out there, but they have to go with someone else. They have to try something else because Justin Fields is not it.
Well, they already threw in the towel on defense, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would be a little suspect to continue to let Justin Fields, quote unquote, not throw the ball. I was going to say throw the ball, but he's not doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think they really have another option. I think fans, Jets fans, are probably like, change it up. Who cares? Like, what's it matter? So,
And then Shadur Sanders
yeah.
getting his first NFL start for the Browns this week with Dylan Gabriel in concussion protocol. It's against the Raiders, so it's not too scary of a matchup, a defensive matchup for his first start. Now, last week against the Ravens, when he got in there, it was not pretty. His first pass, I was like, wow, look at you go. And the rest of the game, really not good. So, but he gets a full week of practice with the first team, and we'll see how he can do. Do you want to know a really bad stat?
Can't wait.
Browns quarterbacks making their first career NFL start are 0-17 since 1999. That's incredible.
I think it's going to probably be 0-20.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say give them a chance. We've said it all year long.
Yeah.
See what you got in them. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. You're not winning games anyway.
True. I'm just excited to watch him play.
Yeah.
And it can't, like, it's not like Dylan Gabriel was doing this great stuff. And
and he was so sad after that game. And like, I know, like, nobody cares. You're a grown man, whatever. But like, I really think he was like, man, I thought I was going to do better.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was really beating himself up. So I do hope he does well. I just don't think he will.
Yeah. And I do think that he will be the first quarterback for the Browns to win in this first start. Not necessarily because of him. We will talk about why later on in the show. So now that I say that, I want to just jump into these week 12 games. There's a lot of games to get to. 4 teams on bye: Chargers, Broncos, Commanders, and Dolphins. But we will talk about every other team and give our predictions on who we think will win right now.
Between the 20s.
First game up, we got Thursday night football with your favorite team. It's in town. The Bills come to Houston to play the Texans, and the Texans at home are 5.5-point underdogs, which makes sense. The Bills are 7-3. The Texans are 5-5. They're climbing back.
That's right.
Texans won 3 of their last 4 games, but they have to stop Josh Allen. And
the Dolphins did it.
The defense is amazing, and you're right. They're having games this year where the Bills have looked out of sorts, and both of those games came on the road against the Falcons and the Dolphins. So who knows?
That's right.
Now, CJ Stroud is going to miss the game, though.
I
Again,
know.
3 games missed for concussion is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So you have trust in Davis Mills to beat the Bills because you're picking the Texans like a crazy person. I'm picking the Bills.
I know. And honestly, this is probably more
a homer pick.
It's definitely a homer pick. But also, the Bills lost, you just said it, 2 games on the road this year to teams they shouldn't, on paper, shouldn't have lost to, right? Houston's defense is allowing the fewest yards. Josh Allen had 1 billion. He had 1 billion touchdowns last
Can we
year.
talk about that?
Yes, let's, because I feel like you probably have some opinions about it, considering you were playing him in fantasy football.
In the league, I desperately needed to win, my favorite league. And I am at close to the end of the first quarter. I'm like, I'm going up against Josh Allen, and he has -1 points at one point. And I'm like, Josh Allen has -1 points. Yeah, that was the last time I laughed all day long because I ended up being miserable because it was touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. I can go 3 more times, and that's the amount he had. He had 6 stupid touchdowns.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was insane.
Yeah.
But I think with, coming into Houston with the defense just playing lights out right now, my biggest concern is limiting James Cook.
Mhm.
You have to limit James Cook, and you have to keep a spy on Allen so he can't run. If you can do those 2 things, Houston, you give your offense the best chance to be in this football game. And I think that's kind of just what they need to do in order to be in this game and give Davis Mills the chance. He's got a little bit of rhythm right now with Nico Collins, Hutchinson, Dalton Schultz. I think he has to be set up for success by the defense in order for the offense to have a chance. And I very well think this could be another one of those games that we scratch our heads at the end of the game and we say, I just really thought the Bills were much better than that.
I do think they'll limit them on offense. I really do. But the issue is they could barely beat the Titans last week. And it had nothing to do with the defense. The defense was amazing. They just could not score. And the Titans defense is atrocious. Now, the Bills defense can be beat for sure, especially on the ground.
Exactly.
But is Woody Marks good enough to beat them on the ground? Is that offensive line good enough to beat them on the ground?
They're going to have to be.
Yeah, that's the only way they win. Josh Allen, this is a Thursday night game, so weird things happen on Thursday night, we say all the time. But Josh Allen is 6-0 in his career on Thursday Night Football, so he has always been prepared on Thursday nights. Okay. And without CJ Stroud there, I just don't know if Davis Mills will get it done.
Listen, go Texans.
Before we move on to the next game, I just want to share a fun little stat. Allen already has passed Peyton Manning for the most offensive touchdowns in NFL history by a player before turning 31 years old. Allen has not turned 30 years old yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he still has a whole nother
year
this season and pretty much all of next season.
Wow.
To just keep racking up. And he already has the record.
Yeah, because Peyton was number 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he already has 2 more touchdowns than Peyton Manning.
That's like any touchdown?
Yeah, all anything. Okay. Rushing, passing. He does have a receiving touchdown in his career too.
Last year?
Yeah, it was fun.
I remember.
You might have 2 then, because the one I remember was a few years ago.
Oh, this one was last year.
You might have a couple.
Like in the corner of the end zone.
Anyways, Allen is a beast. He's so good. Allen.
That's right.
Ignore my New York accent again, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I apparently have an accent. All right. Bucks, Rams. I'm really excited for this game, but I do think my boy Baker is going to lose his 3rd straight game. It's been such a hard schedule for the Buccaneers as of late. In this month, they've got the Patriots. They had the Bills on the road, and now they have the Rams on the road, and the Rams are on fire.
They really are.
And it's too hard to pick against them. So we're both going with the Rams, trying to look at the odds here. The Rams are favorites by 6.5 points. So Vegas agrees with us that the Buccaneers are in over their head. And it's just, they don't have enough weapons right now on either side of the ball to compete with a team like the Rams. Their defense is giving up a ton of points, a ton of yards. They're going to get destroyed by Puka Nacua and Stafford through the air. Yeah. And yeah, Baker should be able to put up points, but the Rams defense has been so amazing. And they're going to be able to get after him. And without Mike Evans there and Chris Godwin and, Jalen McMillan still hasn't played this year and Bucky Irving has been out. Sean Tucker did great last week. But yeah, the Rams are a great run defense, unlike the Bills. So I don't see Baker being able to put the whole team on his back and winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. What's the spread at? Because I think like the Rams are they're just firing on all cylinders right now. And I don't know what it will take for a team to beat the Rams right now. And so, like you said, I mean, the Bucs have just been, it's kind of an uphill climb at this point. And lucky for them, their division stinks. So they're not really in a...
The Panthers are only 1 game back or half a game back.
It's true. Yeah. That's true. So, I mean, I don't think this is like a must-win game for them, obviously. But yeah, I don't even think it'll be... I would almost take that spread, actually.
Yeah, I think I would as well. It's 6.5 points. The issue is everything the Rams do so good on offense, the Buccaneers are so bad on defense. So
Mhm.
the Rams lead the NFL in red zone drives. The Buccaneers have the 7th worst red zone defense this year. Matthew Stafford is like breaking records against the blitz this year. He has 22 passing touchdowns to 0 interceptions versus the blitz already this season. And the Buccaneers defense blitzes at the 3rd highest rate because Todd Bowles loves to blitz. So they're going to be blitzing him like crazy. And then Stafford is also amazing using play action. He uses it at one of the highest levels. And the Buccaneers are the 3rd worst defense against play action this year.
Yeah.
So I think the Rams offense is going to be amazing.
Mhm.
And the Buccaneers are probably going to be like last week where they put up some points, but they can't put up enough.
Fair.
All right, big game. Next one, Steelers against the Bears. You don't even need to say your pick because I think it would take them playing maybe the Jets for you to pick the Steelers. I don't even
Not
know.
even the Jets
I
these
think
days.
week 1 you picked the Jets when they played the Steelers. I don't even know who
Probably.
they would have to play. Maybe the Titans.
Probably.
Yeah. So you pick the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears. I'm going with the Steelers. And I would like to think it's not just because I'm a homer, like you with your Texans. Now the Steelers are 6-4. The Bears are 7-3. The Bears being 7-3 is wild.
Wild.
My thing with the Bears is they keep winning these games where they were losing with 2 minutes to go. Like they keep coming
Which
back
is
and these insane
hysterical
things.
coming from you because at the beginning of the season that was the Bucks, and you're like, it's fine, it's Baker. So now you can be like, it's Caleb.
Yeah, but Caleb is stinking throughout all the games.
He's winning them though.
But like Baker's numbers were great during those times. Caleb Williams' numbers are not good.
Is that
Yeah.
what we're going?
They're
with?
winning because they're getting turnovers. They are in lucky spots. They get block kicks.
Mhm.
Their run game has been amazing. And
So
Caleb
good.
Williams did come on fire in that late in that Giants game in week 10.
Yep.
For sure. But Caleb Williams is all over the place.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so tell me why you think the Bears will win.
Okay, well, believe it or not, because I was like, how are they in like on their offensive execution, right?
Mhm.
They rank 4th in the NFL right now, and I'm like yards per game.
Okay.
And I was like, that just doesn't seem right because at the beginning of the season, I'm trying to trade away DJ Moore. I'm like, get this guy away from me, And I was like, but then I looked and I'm like, their record is 7-3. They're this like sneaky team that you're like, there's no way the Bears are 7-3, and they are. So, their defense and the Steelers defense, is about the same, right? They're pretty much giving the same amount of points away each game. I do worry about Caleb Williams against TJ Watt. But TJ had like that one really great game. And then it's been kind of meh Steelers defense the rest of the season. And so
You weren't proud of their defense last week against the Bengals? 12 points only allowed.
against the Bengals,
Yeah.
no,
Why? Joe Flacco's been putting up points with the Bengals.
because it's the Bengals. I don't like.
They've been
You're
just-
acting like they
Their
kept-
offense has been great.
You're acting like they stopped Josh Allen from throwing 6 touchdowns.
I'm just saying,
They
right?
didn't.
They stopped the
So-
Colts offense from scoring a bunch.
Did they beat them?
Yeah.
The Steelers?
The Steelers beat the Colts a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, but also the Colts started up here. Now they're kind of, so I think that has more
Oh
to do
wow!
with,
All these excuses.
that has more to do with them than it does the
Okay.
Steelers. But here's the thing. The game's in Chicago. We still don't really know if Rodgers is going to play or not. I like the Bears.
This is my thing with the Bears, is that they do not have an impressive win on their schedule this year whatsoever. They beat the Cowboys, sure, but that was in week 3, and that was in Chicago, which the Cowboys are way better at home. If they beat the Cowboys at Dallas, I'd give them credit for that. But okay, cool, you won that game. Then they beat the Raiders, then the Commanders, then the Saints, then the Bengals, who you're saying their offense stinks, and they put up 40. The Bengals put up 42 points against the Bears and only 12 against the Steelers. It's fine. Then the Giants and the Vikings. And so those are all I named all the teams they won. They did not have an impressive win on their schedule yet. In the last 3 weeks, they've needed these comebacks to beat those teams, the Bengals, the Giants, and the Vikings.
Okay.
They were down with less than 2 minutes to go. And to beat these bad teams, they need this comeback. Now, maybe the Steelers are maybe you consider the Steelers a bad team, but I just don't put the Steelers in the category of any of those teams I mentioned.
What's the Steelers record?
6-4? But they actually
Yeah, they're
have a couple
mediocre to me.
impressive win. They have a Colts
But
win
you're
under their
saying
belt.
impressive
They
wins.
have the Patriots win under their belt.
So every team is. Here's my thing.
Every team has an impressive win, but the Bears.
But no, that's not even what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I don't think there's something. Do you think the Dolphins beating the Bills was impressive?
Yes, but if they haven't won enough games for it to matter.
But that's my point, is like, you're saying, oh, it's not an impressive win, but now you're adding all these other stipulations to it. So that's why, to me, scaling something by an impressive win, quote unquote, is just not a thing. Because all we could do, right, for that same matchup, Bills, Dolphins, we could be like, oh, well, the Bills just were terrible. That's it. Like, that has nothing to do with the Dolphins who got the win.
Mhm.
So to me, a win's a win's a win's a win.
This is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears will lose 4 of their next 5 games. Calling it right now.
Write it down, somebody.
They get the Steelers, the Eagles, the Packers. They'll beat the Browns at home, and then the Packers again. That's their next 5 games.
They'll lose 4 out of 5 is what you're saying.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to timestamp this so I can go back and write it down.
No.
Okay.
I know.
You're wrong,
If Mason
but-
Rudolph could come out and be terrible, we shall see. If he's
I
the one
can't wait.
starting.
I hope. Oh, man.
Rodgers is also a killer of the Bears because his biggest divisional rival when he was with the
Right.
Packers,
Right.
and he always beat them and destroyed them. It just, he kind of has that hatred for them. So
Okay.
if he plays,
Great.
Yeah.
Well, all I heard was the Bears are not going to win. I didn't hear any reason why the Steelers should.
it's
Besides
more
the
about I don't
quarterbacks.
trust Caleb Williams at all, and I think the Steelers will come out on top because I trust them just a little bit more.
Okay.
And the Bears defense isn't good either. So, and I think the Steelers defense has stepped it up.
Hmm.
The Steelers are 2.5-point underdogs on the road.
Does that change anything for you?
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
take the Steelers 2.5.
Mm.
2.5 points.
Mm.
All right, Colts against the Chiefs. We are different here as well. I'm taking the Colts, who are 3.5-point underdogs, even though they have a much better record than the Chiefs, but they're going on the road to Kansas City. The Chiefs were 5-5. Absolutely wild to be sitting here at this point with a 500 record. And, you know, it is a must-win game at home, but I'm still taking the Colts. I'm going to take the 8-2 Colts that just keep coming through against every team besides my Steelers.
Right. Mm-hmm. Cute. Cute that you added that in there. I'm sure Pat will love that you said my Steelers in your San Francisco hoodie. So Chiefs are at home. They're in desperate need of a win, right? They're 5-5, which is hilarious because that's the same record as the Texans. And I bet you $10, if we Googled and did some kind of AI math, how many times the Chiefs are said versus the Texans on any NFL anything media, it's a lot different of a number.
Yeah.
But they have the same record, people. That's what I want you to know.
But it's more shocking the Chiefs are 5-5 than the Texans. The Texans like, yeah, that's about right. The Chiefs is like, wow, that's crazy.
That means they're basically the same team.
If you had to put money down, if you had to put your house on who would win the Super Bowl this year between the Texans and the Chiefs, who would you go with?
Is CJ playing?
It does not matter. It does not matter. It's the Chiefs.
Anyway, I do think the Chiefs will win this matchup. Why? They're in desperate need of a win. They're at home. The Colts barely beat the Falcons in overtime. Sure, it was a international game. But the Chiefs defense has gotten progressively better throughout the season. They looked like trash at the beginning of the season, and they have gotten better. And the Chiefs are actually in the top 10 at stopping the run, right? So limiting running. So I think if they come in with the game plan of do not let Jonathan Taylor get 250 yards on you like he did last week, and then Patrick Mahomes can kind of go back to like Mr. Mahomes of Super Bowl 57, I think they have a real shot at, some shenanigans to win this game against the Colts.
They definitely have a real shot, right? Like, I think most people are expecting the Chiefs to come out, win this game, and set things right and get above 500 and all that. But I will say this is not an easy matchup whatsoever. The Colts are still the number 1 scoring offense, number 1 offense overall. Jonathan Taylor, like, I don't care how good of a defense you have. He's not going to be stopped, right?
He's a machine.
If you can limit him to 90 rushing yards, it's going to be a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
Huge win.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, though, with Patrick Mahomes, how he's playing when he's pressured is been atrocious this year. He has a career low 39 completion percentage when pressured. this season.
Wow.
He has a 56 completion percentage since week 9. Like something's happening to him lately where he's struggling, and he's 1-4 in games where his opponent pressured him more than 25% of dropbacks this year. And the Colts defense is averaging a 37 quarterback pressure rate. 37%. So that's well ahead of the 25%. They're 8th in the NFL in that metric. So I think if the Colts can come all out in defense and pressure Mahomes and put, get in his face, he'll make mistakes. And as long as Daniel Jones doesn't become Daniel Jones, it'll be okay. I am shocked that the Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites. I think I take the Colts plus 3.5 because I think this game comes down to a field goal.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be very close. I don't know. I think it's because it's such a must win for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think Andy Reid's going to come out and Steve Spagnuolo and just be like, this is our game. So I guess in that way, I could see that spread, but I wouldn't take it. But I do think they come out and win.
Colts got a nice little bye week that they're coming off of too.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Which they needed.
I mean, it's very much a coin flip. I could have easily made an argument for the Chiefs, but I'm going to go with the Colts just to make it more fun. All right, Vikings, Packers. We're both going with the Packers here. Mm-hmm. And the Packers has been very uninspiring over the last few weeks. I mean, they had that dominant win against the Steelers, and it was like, okay, like that was their 3rd straight win. They were looking great. Mm-hmm. And then they lose to the Panthers playing at home, which is wild. Then they lose to the Eagles playing at home, only putting up 7 points. Like your defense held the Eagles 10 points and you couldn't win.
Yeah.
And the Panthers, they only allowed 16 points and couldn't win. And then the Giants last week, that game was way too close for far too long.
Yes.
And they didn't even have Jackson Dart playing for the Giants. So,
right.
And they end up winning by 7 points. But I mean, the Packers right now on offense is not a team you're like, wow, I feel confident about the squad. But the Vikings and JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy is
not
so
good.
bad.
Yeah.
He's so bad. So I just don't think they're going to be able to put up points against the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it comes down to. It's not like I feel like this strong thing where the Packers are such a better team. I think their defense is much better than what JJ McCarthy can do against them.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. Green Bay lost to the Browns week 3. Shouldn't have, right, on paper. And then, like you said, to the Panthers in week 9. Again, 2 games that I'm sure they want back. So, yeah, they cannot let the Vikings come to Green Bay and do anything. I don't think they will because, quite frankly, JJ McCarthy is just, I mean, he plays like a little decent. You're like, maybe there's a little hope. And then he throws an interception. You're like, maybe not.
He has more interceptions than touchdowns this year.
I know.
6 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And what you're saying is actually accurate to what, like, if you're watching a game, you're like, oh, he's pretty good. And then all of a sudden he falls apart. That's actually accurate. So in the first 2 drives of the games he's played, the first 2 drives of every game, he has 130 passer rating, is averaging 8.5 yards per attempt. Both of those metrics, I mean, absolutely elite, right? Mm-hmm. But after the first 2 drives of games, his numbers completely just crumble. 50 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 51 passer rating. Like, and you know what that is? Is Kevin O'Connell has a game scripted for the first 2 drives.
Right.
And then they run out of scripted plays. And JJ McCarthy just
and that's off. Like Caleb Williams at the beginning of the season,
yeah.
right? Same exact situation.
Mm-hmm.
The first drive, I think of like the first 3 games ish, he came out, touchdown, great. And you're like, wow. And the rest of the game, he looked like trash. And you're like, I'm so confused. So the interesting thing is with more time, can JJ McCarthy become one of those like Caleb Williams winning games? Yes, I know, not the best, still like looking sloppy and all that, but can he have enough time on the field to do so?
Yeah, I mean, he still has so much time to still prove himself.
This is what, his 5th game?
Yeah,
6th?
I mean, he is still brand new. I'm not saying he's done in the NFL, but he looks really bad, and Justin Jefferson is done with him. That's for sure.
Right. Well, and let's talk about the Packers being behind the Bears in the division.
Yeah.
So Packers need to come out. Like, they don't have an option to come out and be like lackadaisical and like just kind of let the Vikings hang around. They need to come out and make a statement and say, no, we're the best team in the division.
And not only that, if they lose, they probably fall out of playoff contention if the Lions win.
Wild.
Yeah. I mean, they'd still be right in the hunt, but they might fall out of the playoff picture for a week there. But we both think they win. They are 6.5-point favorites. I don't know about the 6.5 points,
that
but
feels a little scary.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 field goals, but I don't know about a score.
yeah, I could see this
You know.
being a 16-13 game again,
Right,
like where
right.
both offenses stink and both defenses are pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right, Eagles, Cowboys. Again, a game we're different on.
Mhm.
I'm taking the Cowboys. If this was in Philadelphia, easy Philly. But with this game being in Dallas, I'm going to take the Cowboys. You're taking the Eagles. Tell me why.
Yeah, well, Dallas stinks, in my opinion.
Why?
Well, I just don't like them, you know.
Okay.
So I can just, as a Houstonian, I can just say Dallas stinks, and everybody says, yeah, okay. You know, if it was San Antonio, just for frame of reference, since you're not from here, we all band together, like Houston, San Antonio. We all love each other.
Yeah.
You know,
In Austin.
especially like basketball. Like the Spurs are cool, the Rockets are cool, but we don't like the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
it's the same with the cities. So
Everyone just hates Dallas.
yeah, pretty much. So, all of that to say, thanks for all you Dallas fans we have out there, though. All 3 of you. The Eagles are the most boring playoff contender in the league.
Mhm.
Their last 2 games, the most uninspiring,
Very unfortunate they were on primetime.
uneventful. Literally, I was like, I hope they have no more primetime games.
Yeah.
Because and then of course they're playing on freaking Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
I am not excited about this game for that reason. The Eagles have been bleh. But I will say AJ Brown cried enough on social media, whatever it was, about not getting enough touches. So he got plenty of touches last week. I don't remember what his yards were, but I know he got the ball a ton.
They weren't good yards.
Well, but I'm just saying he touched the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't run for 90 or anything. I don't think he even got close to that.
No.
But he cried enough against the Lions to get touches. And honestly, the Eagles won last week. They should have probably, but Jared Goff, that was embarrassing. He looked embarrassing in the cold with his little turtleneck. So all of that to say, all the reasons I hate the Eagles apparently, but I do think the Eagles have enough to definitely come out and win against the Cowboys. It's just a matter of how they execute. And quite frankly, on offense, it's been scary bad.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I'm going with the Cowboys, because
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys is good enough and stacked enough to beat a defense like the Eagles that has been much better. But I mean, the last 2 weeks where their defense has been so good, it was against the Packers, who've been struggling in offense for a while now, and against the Lions, where Lions have a great offense, but when you take them out of their dome, they're not the same. No, not normally 9 points only, not the same. Like it was a good defensive game by the Eagles. I don't want to take that away from them. I just don't think going on the road against the Cowboys with all the weapons they have, that they're going to be able to stop the Cowboys from putting up 25 plus points. And the Eagles right now are not showing us that they can put up those points. Now,
True.
the Cowboys defense has been atrocious this year.
Yeah.
They came out against the Raiders, played much better after their bye, but that's also the Raiders. So we don't know yet if they're looking any better. But like the thing is, like Saquon's struggling. The players there just look miserable. And I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I think this game is going to be close. The Eagles just need some kind of pep in their step for sure on offense.
The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. My thing is, I either think the Cowboys destroy the Eagles or they lose.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think it's either like a 20-point game or they lose the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that bet, but yeah, I don't know.
So in that case, I would just take the money line for the Cowboys at plus 144. Say they're going to win.
Yeah, fair.
Mm-hmm. Panthers, 49ers. We agree on this one for once. We got the 49ers beating the Panthers. Now, Panthers are 6-5.
Yeah.
They're winning record, better record than the Chiefs.
I love that. I love that for them.
The 49ers are 7-4. They have won every other game and lost every other game.
Oh,
the
'cause they won last week. Oh, no.
So this is their week to lose, but it's at home. I know that Bryce Young looked really good last week against the Falcons. Rico Dowdle's doing his thing. The 49ers defense stinks. All that to say, I think Brock Purdy and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and Ricky Pearsall hopefully gets more involved this week.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to do enough against this Panthers defense that I do think they score near 30 points in this game.
Mm.
And as bad as the 49ers defense can be, I just don't think Bryce Young is going to go into San Francisco and put up 30 points against them.
Yeah, I like that take a lot. I mean, Brock looked really good
Yeah,
last week. He did.
I
Sweet
love
nugget.
him.
I know. And then he got Kittle 2 touchdowns, which I absolutely loved and wanted and needed.
Kittle would have been the best fantasy tight end ever this year if he stayed healthy and Purdy was there all year long. I was so right on that take, which is so annoying
because I have him in 2 leagues. Yes, that is annoying. But I'm happy that they're connecting again. Ricky Pearsall, throw him the ball. Like I don't.
Well, it was his first game back, Pearsall, with a knee injury. I don't know.
It
how
was
many
Brock's first game back, and you
Yeah.
didn't see him not throwing the ball.
They didn't need to, right? I mean,
Sure,
they
but
had
still.
44 points. They got up so early, and then they just ran.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I'd like to see him get some touches
Mhm.
this week. Juwan Jennings continued to be fine. He catches the ball
That's
well.
his middle
He
name.
doesn't
Fine.
He catches the ball well. He doesn't get a bunch of yards after the catch, but he is reliable for Brock. So as long as they can continue doing what they were doing, I think they're going to be just fine against the Panthers.
Me too. And they have to win this game because the Rams are looking amazing. The Seahawks, they lost to the Rams last week, but they're still ahead. So if they want any chance to win this division, they have to keep winning. But then also just for a wild card spot, like it's getting close down there in those wild card spots for the NFC. All of a sudden, a lot more competition than what there has been in recent years in that conference. The 49ers are 7-point favorites.
Whoa. I could see it, and then I could be like, I could see a 16-13 game too. So
The Panthers defense has been weirdly good. I'm not touching that. I'm just staying away because I do think the 49ers will win.
But if you have Panthers players like Rico Dowd, definitely play them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Rico Dowd this week.
Yeah.
And Tedderell McMillan all of a sudden decided to go off on my bench.
All of a sudden, yes. So maybe play. I mean, against the 49ers, I would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael Wilson just put up like 200 receiving yards against them last week.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, next game, Patriots, Bengals. We talked about this with Joe Burrow possibly playing. I still think it's going to be Joe Flacco back there for one more week. But even if it's Joe Burrow, I'm still sticking with the Patriots. Their defense is just so good. I don't think the Bengals will be able to get their run game going against them. And if Burrow comes back, he's going to be all rusty and will he be able to scramble? And the Flacco's come back down a bit to the real world. No Jamar Chase.
Ugh.
There's a lot of things there.
Yeah, so if you need to pick up somebody, I would go and get Yoshavash. I knew I was going to mess that up.
You did great.
Yoshavash. It is
Yoshavash.
Anyway, whoever he is, go and pick him up if you need somebody, because with Jamar Chase out, they're going to have to throw the ball to someone else other than T. Higgins. So I had to go and do that myself. Because of good old Jamar being a dum-dum.
Noah Fant's interesting as well.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots really struggle against the tight end. It's pretty much the only spot you can beat them in. And without Chase there, they are going to have to find other weapons. And I think Noah Fant would be
good
a
pickup.
plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
I'm thinking about that right now. I kind of want to go pick him up because I lost Sam Laporta.
Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, that's for some fantasy insight there. But Travion Henderson, I mean, played so well last week. I expect him to do the same, if not better, this week against the Bengals defense. They're going to get up early, I think, and then they're going to run the ball a ton the rest of the probably second half of the game. So that's definitely the route I would go. I mean, the Patriots are rolling. Yeah. They look really
8 straight
really
games
good.
they've won.
Yeah.
8 straight games. So we're going to take them to win no matter who's back there at quarterback. They are 7-point favorites on the road. And the Bengals defense is so bad.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, it's close. It's close for me. Giants, Lions. We agree here as well. We're both taking the Lions.
Yeah, Jared Goff, like I said a little bit earlier, I mean, he needs a bounce back game just like Josh Allen had last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen got embarrassed in Miami. Jared Goff embarrassed last week. He looked pitiful just in his little turtleneck. So
I love
he
how you brought
really
up the turtleneck twice.
It was so silly looking. I had to. Like, is he married? Does he have a girlfriend? Like, somebody needed to help him with whatever that look was. But poor baby's just used to dome football life, The Lions should have no problems against the Giants this week, with Jackson Dart supposed to come back for this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants' run defense is so bad that I do expect a big bounce back game from Jared Goff. But even if Goff were to like struggle again, he won't. It's back at home. This is the thing with Goff. You put him out into the cold environment, he's gonna just shrink up. He gets so cold, like you said, he needs his turtleneck. Like it's not his style. It cramps his style. Put him back in the dome. He's gonna be fine. Giants defense stinks. Their run defense is one of the worst in the league. Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna destroy them. David Montgomery, when he comes in, is gonna do great. And the Lions, coming off a loss, have now won 13 straight games coming off a loss.
Mhm.
They average 33 points per game and 430 total yards per game coming off a loss since 2023.
Yeah, I mean, I think
They're
also Dan Campbell, just give the calls back to the offensive coordinator. What are you doing?
Yeah,
so
that,
silly.
That whole thing. That actually might make me scared. This is what I told you.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you beat the Commanders. Cool. Like, you look, you're a defensive coach. It's just stupid. Anyways, Lions are 10.5 point favorites, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm really fine with it.
that sounds about right.
Even though Jackson Dart put up points, but if they still had Cam Scatterboo and Malik Neighbors,
Well, if they allow him
like,
to rush for touchdowns, then they're in for.
Yeah,
they're not in a good spot. But I don't think that'll happen.
I just think the Lions are going to put up maybe 40 or 50 points in this game.
Woof.
And if the Giants can even put up 30, you're still covering. Like, it could be 52 to 30. I don't really think that's what it's going to be, but like 45 to 30, and you still cover.
Okay.
The rest of these games are pretty bad, so we're just going to run through them real quick. We got the Jaguars against the Cardinals. We disagree, so maybe it's not that bad. I'm taking the Jaguars. You're taking the Cardinals. Jags are 6-4. The Cardinals are 3-7, and the Cardinals are just really, really, really bad. They've lost each of their last two games by over 19 points and 22 points. Like, Jacoby Brissett came back down to life, and the Jaguars' offense has been rolling since their bye week.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But Jacoby Brissett had a Jameis Winston game last week, over 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah.
So, but he
equaled to 22 points and a 19-point loss.
Whatever. But Nycole Wilson was the man last week. So congrats to anyone who
read my articles and you would have played him.
Had the heads up to play him, to pick him up, because that was the move last week. But I think they can build off that. I think the Jags are due for a loss. And quite frankly, I'd love to see them lose so that the Texans have more of a chance in the division.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm rooting for them. Trevor Lawrence is not very good, but their offense has been putting up points. They're 2.5 point favorites on the road. I think they win. Their defense just devoured the Chargers. I don't know what that was about.
That was confusing.
Winning 35-6, but it's more about their offense. Since coming off the bye, 30 points, 29 points, 35 points. They're getting it together. They got their run game going with ETN again. Marvin Harrison Jr. is also not expected back this week. So Nycole Wilson, I loved last week because the 49ers terrible defense. The Jaguars not quite the same.
Yeah.
Jets versus the Ravens. This is an easy one, even though last week we said it was easy Ravens, and they made it close against the Browns.
They sure did.
But this game's not on the road in Cleveland against an amazing defense, and it's not a divisional game, and it's in Baltimore. And I'm sorry, Jets. I don't care that you're changing quarterbacks and going to Tyrod Taylor. It's not going to matter. The Ravens are now on a 4-game win streak. They're almost halfway there to their 9-game win streak that I called, and they're going to win 5 straight games.
100%.
You know what's really annoying? Next Gen Stats has this playoff probability feature.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving the Ravens a 74% chance to win the division this year.
Wow.
Over the Steelers. Steelers only get 26% chance, even though they have the better record right now.
I wonder why.
The Steelers only have like a 30-something% chance to make the playoffs, according to Next Gen Stats.
Wow.
With their record.
You better hope they're wrong, Pat.
Literally. But yeah, the Ravens defense has stepped it up. They've been great. They moved Kyle Hamilton more into the box instead of playing him deep. And that's pretty much made all the difference. So they're great. We can talk about their issues with their pass rush when they face a harder team, but that's not this team. Browns versus the Raiders. You're taking the Raiders. I'm taking the Browns. I mean, this is just a trash bowl game, but it is really risky with me going with the Browns with Shedeur Sanders starting his first game. My thing more is on the defense. And on the road, sure, the Browns aren't nearly as good as when they're at home on defense. But the Raiders aren't really an away game ever in Las Vegas. So there'll be plenty of Browns fans there. And Myles Garrett is going to get to Geno Smith, and Geno Smith is atrocious and will throw interceptions. And also, Ashton Genty can't get going. Like, it's just not going to happen. The offensive line is bad, and they go away from him too much. And even if they feed him, his efficiency is terrible. And even on the road, the Browns' run defense is still very good. It's where their pass defense kind of falls apart, but Geno Smith's not going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think this game is going to be fun. I think it will be ugly, and it'll literally just come down to who scored the most points and how, right?
The game comes down to who scores the most points. I didn't know
that is
that's
my
how,
hot take.
I didn't know that's how football
how
works.
games work. I think the thing that the Browns have going for them, I will tell you, is that no one expects anything. Granted, I feel that way about the Raiders as well. So, like I said, it's a toss-up with how Sanders is going to come out and play in his actual first debut starting a game. So maybe that'll help him get into a groove better. Maybe not. We'll see. And yeah, Ashton Genty was a joke last week. I know you felt that very deeply as you were praying for him to get at least 5 points.
And
in fantasy,
pretty much
and
just
he
that.
got 4.2.
Well, yeah,
Two,
I needed
whatever
4.5
you
and
needed.
you got like 6.2 or something.
Right. Embarrassing. So, but yeah, I think ultimately this game is in Vegas, and I think Brock Bowers has to have a really good game, and the Raiders should win this one.
The Browns will win. I feel pretty strongly about the Browns winning this game. Yeah, I really do. It's not even what I'm nervous about. All right, Seahawks, Titans. Seahawks. They lost last week. Who cares? It was against the Rams. It was Sam Darnold. Hilarious. How happy was I during that game?
I literally have in my notes, this game was the best game that Sam Darnold could have had after that atrocious one last week. And Michelle, do you want to talk about how bad Sam Darnold was? I wasn't even going to say anything. I was going to let you have it.
4 interceptions.
She screamed with excitement we watched the game together every single time.
Because he's the biggest pretender ever. And when the game gets too big for him and he has a hard matchup in a must-win, it wasn't a must-win game in terms of playoffs, but this was a huge game with the division on line, possibly, and he falls apart and becomes Sam Darnold again. Yeah. And one of the Seahawks podcasts or reporters, something, called him Scam Darnold.
You should get a shirt made.
I loved it.
Oh my gosh! But then it'd have to have his face, which you wouldn't like too much.
But it said Scam Darnold.
Scam Darnold. Oh my gosh! Christmas present.
But I mean, they get the Titans this week, so good job. You get another win.
Like I said, they needed the Titans this week after that embarrassment last week. So.
And they will win. The Titans offense can't do anything. The Seahawks will figure it out. Jackson Smith-Njigba even last week. That catch he made on the sideline with
one hand.
He's so good.
He really is.
He's so good. So they're going to be able to handle it. I think the Seahawks backfield will actually have a really good game too. Both of them, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet against the Titans. Titans again have 1 win, and they shouldn't even have that. It's the Cardinals falling apart. They should be 0-10 right now.
Right.
So yeah, we're going with the Seahawks. And then last game, Falcons against the Saints. I originally went Falcons, and then I changed it up. Because I was really wanting to go Saints. I was. And then I was like, I'll just go safe with the Falcons. No, I'm going with the Saints. Because I don't know why I think the Falcons have this better team than the Saints. They're 3-7 compared to the Saints 2-8. And the Saints at least won their last game before their bye against the Panthers, who have a winning record. They won 17-7. And the Falcons have lost now 5 straight. Kirk Cousins will be their quarterback moving forward, because Michael Penix Jr. is on IR. True. Drake London will be out of this game. So it's going to all come down to Bijan Robinson and Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins has been atrocious. And I just think the Saints can do enough. Tyler Shook looked okay in his last performance. He can hit Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson. Alvin Kamara finally had a solid game. This game's in New Orleans, so I'm going with the Saints.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going Falcons. Frankly, because I just think they just have more weapons to choose from than I believe the Saints on offense is really why I'm going down to it. And at the end of the day, you can hand the ball to Bijan and just let him work. And so I think that's probably what they'll do. Obviously, with Kirk Cousins playing, he can throw the ball, right? But you've got London out, which makes things tricky.
I
But
guess Darnell Mooney becomes a possible option.
it has to be, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think they're going to run the ball a ton against the Saints, and with giving it to Bijan to get you down in the red zone, and then Tyler Algier punching it in. I think they're Algier.
No, you were fine with that. It's just funny.
You made
You're
fun of
hurting
me.
Bijan Robinson fantasy managers' hearts by saying let Bijan get down there and then Tyler
Well, you
Algier
know that's
punch
what
it
they
in.
do
I
though.
know,
It's
I-
infuriating.
I
I know, I get it.
Mhm.
But that's like what the teams do now is they have the little chunky guy that runs it in, but then you've got the other guy that does all the work to get you there.
Yeah.
And then you don't even give him the touchdown.
The little chunky guy.
It usually is like a more stocky, shorter guy. It is.
I know. I like it.
Just like ETN and who's his backup?
Tootin.
Tootin. Same thing. Like usually he gets the
Tootin.
touchdowns and it's infuriating. Anyway.
The Saints are favorites by 1.5 points. So I guess I wasn't being bold taking them. I thought I was being bold.
See, I don't. Do the Saints have 2 wins? Is that right?
Yeah.
See, and the Falcons only have 3, but some of their games have been relatively close, at
Yeah.
least the last few weeks. Now they have gotten blown out also in a few
Yeah.
weeks. So this might be one of those that's like one team blows out the other, or it'll be really close, like a 10-7.
It'll probably
game.
just be pretty ugly overall.
Yeah.
That is it for our game picks, but we still have our 2-minute warning where we're going to tell you the team that needs to win the most desperately in week 12 for their playoff hopes, for their season, hopes to stay alive.
No.
2-minute warning.
All right, Nycole, which team do you have that needs to win the most in week 12
In week 12.
for, this
you
is
weren't
their
done.
life?
Maybe. I'm going Lions. I'm going the Detroit Lions, mainly because their division right now is neck and neck. And I think in order for them to not be just hoping and really needing wins in the coming weeks, I think this is a week that they really have to win, sneaking up on the Packers and then sneaking up on the Bears, who you think will lose this week. I think it'll put them in a really good position to be in the hunt to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you because their division's so hard. They've dropped some games they just shouldn't have.
Yeah.
This year, I'm going to go with the Steelers. And call me a homer, fine, but they need a win. I'm getting worried because the Ravens are slowly coming back. The Steelers have lost 3 of their last 5 games. With 2, they had a good win against the Colts in that span. The last week against the Bengals, beat up on them. That's great, but they need to come out. They need to beat the Bears because after that, they get the Bills, the Ravens, then the Lions, and then the Ravens again with only a couple easier games in there against the Dolphins and the Browns. So and the Browns game's in Cleveland, so that's not easy either. They need this win, or else the Ravens are going to keep making ground and probably start to take over immediately. They cannot drop this game. It's a must win for the Steelers this week against the Bears.
Totally agree.
That is it for today. I hope you all get wins from your favorite teams, from your fantasy team. We will be back next Thursday. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next.